Hey carpoolers, what is up? How's it going? Today is Wednesday, the 21st of March, and I'm sorry that I look so tore down and sound awful. I have a sinus infection. I started feeling ill on Sunday, and Monday was horrible. Tuesday I went to the doctor and confirmed I have a sinus infection. Where are my sunglasses? Oh yeah. Yeah, buddy. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Esty, and I am vlogging my weight loss journey. I am pre-op, awaiting BSG. I talk about all kinds of stuff on this channel, not just weight loss stuff, especially right now since I'm waiting for my surgery to be scheduled by the surgeon's office. So I have some exciting news to share with you guys today. If you like what you see here, go ahead and subscribe. We'd love to have you back because we talk about weight loss, we talk about food, we talk about life. So you get a fair mix here. And give me a thumbs up. So today's Wednesday, which I've already stated. Sorry, deal with me. I've got sinus head here. And right now I need to put my clock back. It's 5:24. So in 26 minutes, Cowboy will be doing the bariatric seminar with my doctor and a different surgeon that's not doing my surgery. My surgeon and this surgeon like tag team it. They do one week, then the other one does the other week. But this guy's not my surgeon. He's actually the doctor that I saw during the seminar as well. So first of all, he's going there by himself, which is huge. Second of all, I'm feeling very, very grateful right now that he was willing to do this, because honestly, I really didn't think he wouldn't if I wasn't going to go with him. My husband, he's an extrovert. He is a social butterfly. Little Bill takes after him 100%. I'm an ambivert, but I'm more on the introverted side. Once in a blue moon, my extrovert comes out. But with him being an extrovert, he does like me by his side. He does like me by his side. Anyhow, so he's going by himself. I would love to be there with him, but with our schedules and stuff, somebody's got to pick up Little Bill. And today's Wednesday. It's church day. For some reason, they scheduled a softball scrimmage today. We just can't do it all. So he's going by himself, and I'm so happy, and I feel so loved and supported right now that he's willing to do that. I can tell he's kind of getting sick of hearing it. I know right now there's 2 documentaries on Netflix that I want to see. He's actually the one that brought up the postmortem obesity. I probably said it backwards. If you have Netflix, you know what I'm talking about. He watched the whole thing without me, of course, and then when I wanted to watch it, he's like, oh, I don't want to watch this again, and I'm like, what the heck? So I tried to talk him into watching it with me, and he was like, no, I don't want to see it again, but it's super interesting, you should watch it on your own. Well, we wound up watching Inception with Nicolas Cage. It was pretty good. Like the ending. Anyway, I was thumbing through the channels, and another docu-series that was on there it's called like The Big Life or something like that, and I wanted to look at the preview, but I could hear Cowboy in the background going. So I kind of feel like he's getting sick of hearing it. I don't really go on about it at home. For those of you who watch my channel, you know that I'm keeping the surgery on the low. I think 2 family members know about the surgery for the whole thing. Only a very little friends know about it. Actually, my coworker knows about it because I tell her a lot. We share a lot. She's my friend too. But also I'm going to be out of work, and I'm going to be coming back to work sipping water, and my stomach's going to be making noises, so I figured I needed to explain it to her. And she's totally cool and supportive anyway. So very few people know. So I haven't even told Little Bill yet. I will tell her at some point, but I didn't feel like right now is, a pertinent time to tell her. So it's not like it's something that's discussed all the time in the house, but I think he's getting tired of hearing it. Anyhow, I have some interesting news to share. Yesterday, I haven't really told you about my family dynamics. I'm married to my husband. We've been married for about 13 years, and we have a little girl, and we call her Little Bill. Of course, Little Bill is not her legal name, but we call her Little Bill. Everybody calls her Little Bill in our family. It's just a thing we do in the South. We got nicknames. Anyhow, I am the youngest of 3. I am the baby. My brother is the eldest. He is 8 years older than me, and my sister is the middle child. She is 4 years older than me, so obviously there's 4 years in between all of us. My dad and mom separated for the second and final time when I was 7. So since there's such an age gap between me and my sister and brother, I was pretty much alone with my mom because they grew up fast and did their own adult thing, and I was still finishing growing up with my mom. My dad really wasn't a part of my life. I know him. I know what he looks like. I've talked to him, on and off. But my dad has a very secretive past. He's very cryptic about things. He didn't treat my mom well when they were married. I know that it takes 2 to tango. I'm sure my mom was a brat as well. But he was an alcoholic, he was abusive, and he was extremely controlling. Anyhow, with all that being said, I've forgiven him. He's my dad. We can't choose our parents. So he's done the best that he knew how to do. I think there's some mental health issues there. But whatever. I love my dad. He's my dad. And I have chosen to forgive him. Now, do I have a relationship with him? No. I saw him for the first time November 2017. So last year. Oh, I'm sorry. November 2016, because November 2017 I was in New Hampshire with my sister. And that was the first time I have spoken to him or seen him in 14 years. And it was extremely awkward. It's like sitting in the room with a stranger. My biological father. My brother and sisters still speak to him, continuously, but he's kind of one of those people, if you don't make the effort, you won't have a relationship. And I've just gone through years of hurt and letdown that he can't be what I need him to be, so I don't expect it from him, and I'm not going to bend over backwards for a narcissist. Anyway, whole nother ball of wax. So my mom told me when I was a teenager or preteen, or maybe it was my grandma, because my grandma has filled me in with all of my dad's drama my entire life. I found out when I was 6 years old that my dad was not there when I was born, that my grandmother was the first person to hold me outside of the womb, because my father denied I was his. That's right. Nice. Apparently my mom was allowed to get a job outside of the house, and during that time I was conceived, so I automatically couldn't have been his child. But I was, and I don't exactly know when he figured out that I was 100% his, because he was in my life until I was about 7, and he couldn't stop drinking and running around with my mom, and they tried to make it work over and over and just couldn't. So the split finally happened when I was about 7. Anyways, either my mom or grandma told me when I was about a preteen or teenager that I have half siblings, and I think it was my mom. Yes, because the day my brother was born, now my brother is the first child from my mom, but we share the same mom and dad. But he leaned over my brother the day he was born and told my brother, not my mom, that he has siblings. And my mom was like, "Excuse me, what?" So that was pretty much all he said. He wouldn't go any further to avoid the argument. Mom didn't press him, whatever. So anyways, comes along preteen or whatever. My mom told me after Beth was born, which is my sister, and before I was born, my mom found a photograph, and my dad's a big time photographer. He loved to take pictures. But my mom found a photograph of 3 children that looked just like my brother and sister. And she confronted my dad about it, like, "I found this picture and these kids look just like our children. What's up?" And he was like, "Oh, it's nothing." And he wouldn't, again, go into any detail. Anyways, to make a long story short, yesterday I was sitting on the couch feeling miserable for myself because my ear was hurting and my head was pounding. And I get an instant message, and I'm not on the up and up with the IMs because my messenger does not like me. Every now and then I have to delete it and add it back on my phone. I don't know if my phone's ghetto or it's the app, but I get a message from a woman, and you can, if you're not friends with the person, you can only see so much of the message, and she used a name that nobody ever calls me. That's a family name, and I was like, okay, what is this about? So I hit, and I'm thinking to myself, well, if I don't know what it's about, or if somebody's trying to sell me something or whatever, I'll just, delete or decline or whatever it is. So I hit okay, and this big thing comes up, and basically who she is one of my half-siblings. She's 52 years old. She's from my dad's previous relationship. There's 4 brothers and sisters. She has 3 other siblings besides herself with the same mother and my father. The eldest sibling, which I guess names don't matter, but the eldest sibling is the only boy and the other 3 are girls. He is 58 years old. My mother is 6 years older than him, if that tells you anything. Okay? Weirdness. So, apparently, they found my dad through Facebook or something, I don't know. Except for the son, because the son, the mom of their crew got remarried, and the eldest son took the stepfather's name. He has nothing to do with my father, rightly so. He probably remembers, like my brother remembers, everything about our father and the hurt and pain of somebody just picking up and leaving. And then the 3 younger girls, all have a relationship with my father, except for the youngest, who reached out to me. She's very much like I am, even though she's 52. But she's cordial to him, she's very nice to him, she's forgiven him, and she just chats with him back and forth via text or IM. So, I didn't know how to feel about it. I felt joy. I felt automatic joy. I knew I had half-siblings, and even at one point I tried to research them, and the only people I could come up with my maiden last name were in Michigan, which maybe it was Missouri, I'm not sure. Anyway, she told me that they're from Missouri, and I'm like, maybe I got my M's crossed. It was a long time ago. But at first I'm like, I'm a skeptical person. I'm hard to get over, so I wanted to hear more of what she had to say. And I'm like, oh yeah, that girl's got my daddy. Just so many things matched up. And she sent me a picture of her siblings. I think the picture was about 3 years old. And her eldest sister, which is the second child of the pre-crew, looks just like my father with a blonde wig. I was like, oh, wow, you can't deny that child. And the one that's speaking to me, the one that reached out to me, she looks just like my sister. So it's pretty crazy. And they say green eyes are only 2% of the world. I have green eyes. My mother has green eyes. My brother, sister, and I all have green eyes. My father has 1 brown eye and 1 green eye. And all of the girls on that side of the family all have green eyes. So it's only 2% of the world, but I think I might know half of them. I don't know. I felt joy. I also feel sadness. I was sitting up last night. I've been having a hard time sleeping because they put me on prednisone, and it has just kept me awake to dry up some of this fluid in my sinus. And I was thinking about just the pain. She told me that my dad walked away when she was 2 years old, and she's the baby. So there was 3 other siblings older than her, and he just said, I'll be back, and walked away, and they never seen or heard from him again. Excuse me. And honestly, that sounds like him. Sad to say. I guess it could have been worse. Anyhow, I'm so sorry, I don't mean you to be coughing in your ears. So I just was up last night thinking of the pain and the hurt, and then, you get to a point where you realize you've forgiven this man. Without him, you wouldn't be here. And that's what I told my newfound sister, without him we wouldn't be here. And I was so glad that she reached out to me, because honestly, excuse me again, when I was thinking about them several years ago, I'm like, they're in their 50s or 40s. I was speculating, time frames. They probably have grandchildren. They probably want nothing to do with him. I had heard at one point that he had 2 children, and they were extremely young when he left, and the mother got remarried, and both children were adopted by the woman's new husband, which kind of matches the story that she gave me, but the only child that was adopted was the boy. The other 3 still remembered my father and forbid it. They were waiting for my dad to come back, and the eldest son was like, no, he's not my father, this man's my father. Which just, it's a little gut-wrenching as a parent myself. But I can tell you that when I found out that I had other siblings, and I told this to my newfound sister, it helped me so much, because as a child, being the youngest, I was alone a lot. I was a latchkey kid. As I said, my brother and sister, when they became adults, they moved out on their own, like, immediately. And it was just me and my mom, and she worked a lot to support us because there was no help coming in. And it hurt me so bad. I could never figure out why I wasn't good enough. Why did he treat me so different than he treated my elder siblings? And just, he would always say, oh, I'm going to pick you up, we're going to go here, oh, I'm going to pick you up and spend time with you, and I'd pack my little bags and I'd be waiting, and he'd never show up. And I just couldn't figure out why I wasn't enough, and my mom was just like, you'll make your own decision. I'm not going to project any of my feelings on it. And I respect my mom for that. Looking back, that was very adult of her, because I would have been like, ain't surprised, honey. No, I'm just kidding. I had a great mom and a great example. And she said, I'm not going to project any of my feelings. You'll make up your own opinion. And I did. And it was just hurt. I just wanted my dad to be my dad. And when I found out I had half siblings, like I said, I was preteen, teenager, it just all clicked in place. I'm like, he had children before my brother was even born. If he could walk away from any child that belonged to him, or any baby, why am I any different? I'm not. I'm just another face in the crowd, just like those other kids he doesn't know. So it helped me so much. It helped me to realize that I wasn't the problem. I wasn't the issue. It wasn't me. I am enough. It was him. Something's missing in him. Something's not right. And I'm not saying that to dog him, because he's my dad, and I said I love him and forgive him. But if you can pick up and turn away and walk away from a child, then I don't know. I just think there's something might be off there. And like I said, maybe he did the best he knew how. We don't know anything about him. Even her side of the family, the 4 siblings and the mother, don't know his parents, don't know anything about him. There is no lineage there. It's just him. So, and he had to be 20 when he met his previous girlfriend. I don't know if they were married, because if he just upped and walked away and then met my mom, he married my mom twice. Not once, twice. And they divorced twice. The second time I was 7. But he couldn't legally marry her and be married to another woman, so she must have been like a common law wife or a longtime girlfriend, or I don't know, maybe he left and they got divorced on the low. I don't know. I just don't know. But if he could up and leave those babies and just walk away the way that my sister said he did, and said, I'll be back, and never came, then it's not me, and it was never me. And I talked to her about that, and she was like, no, girl, it was never us. We were never the issue. And that helped me so much growing up, and I told her that, and I kind of always knew in the back of my head that you guys were so much older, and you probably wanted nothing to do with that part of your life, because it was so painful. So when I hit walls, I kind of didn't push further. Because I could have pushed further when I found my maiden name in that, I think, M state. I thought it was Michigan. It was probably Missouri. But it didn't. And it just happened that way, that she found me. And it's been pretty remarkable. I texted my brother, because she said she reached out to my brother. But my brother's very spacey. He doesn't always check his messages. And my sister's not on social media at all. My sister, she lives across the country, and her and I are BFs. I love my sister. She is my ride or die chick. We haven't always been that way. Obviously, we are polar opposites. I'm a Southern belle. She's a Jersey girl. But we love and respect each other, and she is just, like I said, she's my ride or die chick. I can tell her anything and she won't judge me. Anyhow, I talked to her briefly about it, and when I was trying to find my siblings years ago, I talked to her about it, because I tell her everything. And she was like, no, I don't want to know. Childhood was difficult enough without trying to throw other things in the mix. And I'm like, okay, I respect that. And I told her what happened yesterday, and I sent her the pic, and she really had no comment, which was understandable, and really I expected it. But I said something to my brother, and my brother's very, like, family oriented. He's the closest to my dad out of any of us. My sister's close with him, but not like my brother. My brother's very close with him and always has been. He didn't have much to say about it either, and I was just overjoyed. I was just so excited to learn that I had 4 half-siblings. They have children, and they have grandchildren. They're just surrounded by babies. And I told her that. I'm so overjoyed. I have a very small family, and she added me to her social media, so I was able to see her children, and I look just like one of her daughters. I mean, I have a lot of, I favor my mom a lot, but we're all half. You know, we half favor our mom and half favor our dad. And all 3 of my biological brothers and sisters, all 3 of us look just alike. Except me, I'm the tallest and the heaviest. I got the hormone problem gene. But anyway, so it was just amazing. And I told her, you know, you're so blessed to be around all these babies. You know, we don't have that. And she said, you know, every family has struggles, and I'm just so glad that a man came into their mom's life and took on 4 children as his own. And she was able to, you know, marry and have children and now have grandchildren. It's just really awesome. So I was so overjoyed that she reached out to me, and I kept saying that. And she was like, I'm so excited because I was so nervous about how you would feel. And I'm just like, no, it's fantastic. So I don't know if I'll ever hear from her again. We had a very lengthy conversation, and we live across the country. I'll probably never see her. And it will probably be like just one of those, hey, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, you know, things from afar. But it still is just so good to know that I have half-siblings who care about me. I don't know. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'll be sharing some more with you later on this week. I will let you know what Cowboy thought about his whole bariatric seminar experience. I hope he doesn't hear something wrong and get it all jacked up in his... I don't know. There's some nerves going on about this, but I just hope that he gets the knowledge that he needs to give him a peace of mind, because the man's got a heart for God, and he knows that, you know, he's going to be praying and God's will be done. But I just think he has a lot of fears, you know, about the surgery and what's going to happen to me when I'm old. So, anyhow, I hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday. Thank you if you are still watching. Thank you for hanging on with me this long. Family drama, okay? Maybe you guys can relate. Maybe you can't. I hope you can't. I hope you all had very happy, blessed, wonderful childhoods. But I think we're all here to support each other, no matter what's going on with our weight, with our surgeries, with our family life. You guys are my people, and I just wanted to share that with you. Okay, I'm done rambling. My throat's starting to hurt, but I will come back to you at the end of the week and let you know how Cowboy enjoyed the seminar. So, ciao, Bellas.